On today's show, we need answers. Will we get them at Media Day? Some of them, yes. Some of them, no. We'll tell you which ones we will get on today's Locked On Mavs. Stop it! Let's go! Stop! The number one pick will go to the Dallas Mavericks. Cooper Flagg will fly in Dallas.
Dogs, all of us, all five.
You are Locked On Mavs, your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Still can't leave.
Your team every day.
I'm going to get a city like that.
And welcome. You're locked on to the Dallas Mavericks, your team every day. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member covering the Mavs for 10 years. Thanks for being in every day. Making Locked On Mavs your first listen in the Locked On Podcast Network, the number one sports podcast network. That's correct. Joining me, as always, my co-host, media member covering the Mavs for 10 years, right alongside me, the Kentucky kid, the one more thing king. What you got for me, Isaac Harris?
All right, I need an airplane etiquette answer here.
Shoes on, socks on, always.
Person next to me had their shoes off during the flight, but that's not what I was going to ask. And then they waited for our row to exit to start putting their shoes back on. It's a great moment. But where are we at with like phone calls on the plane? Guy in front of me, AirPods
In air?
long phone call, long business call.
I've done a lockdown meeting on a plane, so
I have my earphones in the entire flight, so I couldn't care less, really.
that's also true. I also have the same thing, and I have noise canceling on, so I don't hear anybody. So it doesn't bother me, to be honest.
Okay.
Are you raw dogging a flight?
I mean, I read.
Okay, that's not that.
I've read even if I
You're
read on
re-dogging
flights,
it.
AirPods are on.
Okay. All right.
And as always, the post-game prodigy from the Great Slightly Biased YouTube channel. What you got for me, Slightly Biased? Hawkeye Nation?
I'm staying at my grandparents' house. They are Hawkeye Nation. They're
Hawkeye banners everywhere in the room.
Yeah, they
he's
do.
in.
They're big Kate and Clark fans. But
Same.
you know, as long as your feet aren't disgusting, I'm okay. Socks on. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If I'm doing lower body at the gym, I have my socks on and there's no shoes.
You take your shoes off at the gym?
Yep, and I don't care. And
Like
I'm not
even-
alone.
Some people do that, yeah.
Even
Some
for
people-
like
alone.
deadlifts or squats?
Well, I don't like squat.
he maxed out the
freeway.
squat machine, so he doesn't have to do it anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're not an athlete, I don't know why you're doing that. You're gonna hurt your back.
Okay. Interesting.
Today's episode, we're going to talk about answers we want to get and we need to get at Mavs Media Day because it's Monday. It's coming up Monday. It's going to happen. We're going to talk about it. So we'll talk about the things that we want to see from lineups, from the roster, from injuries and all that kind of stuff. And so I'll start with this. The first answer that we need, the one that I'm most looking forward to at Media Day is, all right, how do they talk about Anthony Davis's injury, his status, his health, his all that? Because last we saw of Anthony Davis, he was dealing with the adductor injury and he played that one game, then he was out, then he was back, and we saw him kind of grabbing for that area where you grab with the adductor injury that we all know at this point. I know more about an adductor than I thought I ever would.
Grabbing for it.
Then we get the retina detachment, separation, whatever actually happened with his eye. We get that injury happening, and then the Mark Stein report happens where he's like, well, he's not even playing 5-on-5. Then he is apparently playing 5-on-5 according to him. We get the picture of Anthony Davis where his eyes look like a frog, where just like the eyes are on top of the head of like a frog that are like just bulging out. I need to know the status. If they're like, I would love to hear the Mavericks say this. We're not concerned. There's no concerns. Anthony Davis 100% back, ready to play, good to go. Let's go. Cleared. Like clean bill of health, basically. Odds we get that.
Well, I'm not a doctor, but
I'm not a doctor, so I don't know.
I can't wait for that Jason Kidd answer, man. It's gonna happen. Like, put it down. We'll talk about this on tomorrow's episode. He's gonna say he's not a doctor, but no, I'm with you. I want to just see how they talk about it. Do they try to sweep it under the rug of like, oh yeah, this happened, earlier this year, got it taken care of. He's good to go, and that's it? Or is it talked about in a way that he's still ramping up? It's still taking time. We got to see, like, do
Not
they
a full
talk
participant at training camp? Like,
do they? Yeah. Well, do they talk about it in a way of like they got to wait and see too? Yeah, I'm fascinated by it because it feels like the wording of that injury was pretty extreme, like detached retina.
Yes.
There was no, what I can't remember, I could be drawing a blank. There's no like press release about it. And so sometimes we at least get that. So there's just been nothing about this injury. We don't even know when it really happened, but it happened. And now it's supposed to be fixed. So I don't know. It's just I'm with you. I think it's the number one thing. I want to see how they talk about it, what the answers are at Media Day.
I'm not worried about it really. If he's been cleared for 5-on-5 work around a month before the tip off of the season, I'm sure he's going to be fine. So I was never really worried about this eye injury. And that continues to be the case for me. You want to know something? And this is not related to today's episode, but I'm just going to say it right now.
Love that from you.
I've started, really actually diving into preseason stuff. I hadn't like really cared, but really looking into other teams and stuff. Guys, I'm just going to tell you this up front. If the Mavs are good this year, you'll never see a more insufferable human being than me. And I think they're going to be good. I'm looking at the roster now. It's starting to click. I'm looking around the league.
Let's go.
Van Vliet's injury, and I'm like, dude, this Mavs team is pretty good. Honestly, honest to God, if they're healthy, they're a good basketball team. And I'm telling you, if they're good, I will be the most insufferable human on the planet.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, I put this on Twitter today or X, whatever. And it was like, I think they're the team with the biggest question marks that I think if they go the right way, they're going to be one of the best teams in the league. That, I think they're the biggest what if, like health-wise team because they're two best players in AD and Kyrie. But I'm with you. It's like on paper, if they're healthy, then I think it's one of the better rosters in the entire NBA. And I think it's a top 4 team. It's just how, those big question marks is how healthy is AD right now? How healthy and how good will Kyrie look when he comes back? How good is Cooper Flagg going to be in year 1? Is D'Angelo Russell going to be good enough to be the stopgap until Kyrie comes back? These are some big questions about the team, but there's a very realistic scenario that all 4 of those questions are answered in a really good way, and this is a really dang good season for the Mavs.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to Bill Simmons and Zach Lowe, and the way they put it, I thought was really good. It's like the floor and ceiling for the Mavs, they might be the team that has the most like stories in between the floor and ceiling. The outcomes are just all over the place. But I was like you said, I was thinking about the realistic high ceiling outcome, and I was like, a lot of things have to go right, but these aren't like some super far out there scenarios. I'm not like banking on this guy developing a skill set that he's never had, like, or anything like that. It's just this guy stays healthy. This guy performs as we expect him to perform. Like, if all the things go almost as you expect, they'll be a good team.
That's what. Sorry, Nick. This is just a slightly podcast here.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying it. I'm just listening. I'm like,
that's why I kind of smirk and laugh at anyone who has a firm take on this Mavs team right now, because it all comes down to like, if they're going under, they're not going to be very good this year. You're purely basing that off of, well, AD is going to get hurt. Well, Kyrie is he's not going to come back fully healthy. Like, it's all about the health, to where if they do come back and they're not very, and they struggle and all this stuff, they're going to take the victory laps with like, all right, look at the health. But if it's the other way and the Mavs are really good and somebody, and we're sitting there saying, hey, they're going to be awesome, it's based off us saying, I think they're going to be healthy. And I think Kyrie's going to come back and play good. So it's like, it's hard to, I just kind of laugh at anybody who has a firm, strong take right now. The Mavs are going to be play-in or non-play-in or like top 3 seed in the West, because it's the most like health question mark team there is.
And it's just all on right now, because since Kyrie's going to be out until when he ever comes back, it's all on AD. And he's like the only health risk, maybe Lively, but we know he's healthy going into this season. I guess maybe that's something else we need to know from Media Day, is if he's 100% back and all that. But other than AD being out injury risk just for his career, everybody else is coming in healthy. Everybody else is plays games. There's some freak injuries last year, but I'm not worried about a lot of those guys. And you don't need their biggest question is shot creation, and that was the biggest question for the Rockets last year. And the Rockets still won a ton of games last year. You can win a bunch of games even if you don't have the high level, elite, playoff level offense, playoff level defense kind of thing. Like
defense wins championships.
True.
Who said that?
Wasn't that
Slightly did.
Donnie Nelson?
Sorry.
I'm more interested to hear about Lively than AD, honestly, because AD's an eye injury where it's like at some point that'll just be fine. Lively's is like he had foot surgery this summer, so that's like that to me, it could just be like, yeah, he's fully recovered and ready to go. Okay, cool. But if there's like he's still kind of like 90%, that's where it's like,
yeah, that's a big question coming up. What other questions do we need answered? I have one about the
plenty
starting five. Isaac's got a million. We'll talk about those and more coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by FanDuel. The NFL season is here. FanDuel's making sure you're ready for kickoff and can't miss any offer on FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet $5, and if your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Slightly is slowly like swearing off the Cowboys again. I see him just go through his progression just every year. Just like start with like, all right, maybe I'm back in, and then just completely slowly lose it. Cowboys Packers this weekend. Packers 6.5 point favorite at the Cowboys for this one. That's a Sunday night game or it's a Sunday afternoon game, and everybody is looking forward to that one. So if you feel real confident about that one, or if you want to use your money wisely elsewhere, go put down $5 if you're ready to play. Download the FanDuel app by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. Please gamble responsibly.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs, being part of the show, part of the Raccoon Squad, listening every day. We appreciate you for checking out the show. That's what we call our listeners, the Raccoon Squad. If you're jumping back in because you're like, all right, I'm itching, ready for NBA season to start, welcome back. Welcome back. We've been here. We've been out here all off season. All off season we've been doing shows. I don't think we missed a single day in the off season, in the single weekday.
We were churning them out.
And slightly admitted he didn't care until just recently.
Well, when I say I didn't care, I meant I wasn't like fully diving headfirst into like, oh yeah, that's right. This team.
Thinking about the preseason, so
pipsqueak.
So we're talking about questions we need answered. It sounded like Isaac was like in a closet, like in a different room,
like a live show or someone in the crowd.
what about now?
He opened the door and he jumped out of it.
Sorry, guys.
We're in like 3 different cities, like almost 3 different states right now.
Mind you, I'm 10 minutes away from where I usually am. So
yeah, but from me, where I live to you is very far.
I'm in Kentucky, and my mom collects like antique stuff, so it's like everything in her house feels like it's from Little House on the Prairie. So
yeah, I'm at my grandparents' house, and it's a grandparents' house. So I'm trying to figure out my setup, and I was like, "There's no good backdrop."
Sick curtains back there.
Yeah, we're just gonna
like
have
those
something's gonna look like it's from the '60s. That's just the reality.
What is a question you need answered at Media Day, Isaac?
Oh man, what route do I want to go with this? Yeah, let me take the Kyrie route just because it's Kyrie and he's probably the second most important player behind AD. But does Kyrie fully embrace the possibility of coming back this season? How is that talked about? Is it so many people ran with that Twitch live stream comment he just dropped there, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, he's not going to come back, and like all this stuff. And it's like, is he going to take questions on Media Day and it's like, man, we're ramping up, I'm feeling great, and yeah, don't count me out? Like, is Kid or Nico, is everybody talking with the expectation of, oh yeah, we're once we get Kyrie back, after the new year, early spring or around All-Star break, does somebody casually throw out a timeline? How is that talked about? And in the worst case, which I don't think it's the case based off what I've heard too and stuff, is because I think he's doing really well and rehab and recovery and all that stuff.
Looked good that clip the other day.
yeah, the clip and everything is, in the worst case scenario is like if they come out and they're just very, very vague. And it's like, man, we'd love to have him back this season, but we're not trying to rush anything. We want him here long term. He's a piece long term, and we'll just see. We'll reevaluate, later on this season or something like that. So I want to see how they answer that.
We're 100% getting he's ahead of schedule. Whether he is or not, they're going to say that on me.
the Twitch things, we talked about this on the show, how much they discredit all of that. Tatum had a quote yesterday where he was basically like, yeah, I didn't know there was a time right after the injury where I didn't think I was going to play basketball again. And everyone was shredding him. I'm recovering from a catastrophic injury still. I'll say this. When you're recovering, there are moments where you're just like, yeah, I don't know. I might never walk again. Like that stuff creeps into your brain. So that's why when Kyrie said that, I was like, man, he's probably going through it right now mentally. Like that's just probably what's going on because it just sucks. But yeah, I mean, that's actually a good point. If it's they won't be like, yeah, he's not playing this year, guys. It would be more like, yeah, we'll see. We're hoping for the best. That would be like that's a little spicy versus like a confident.
We'll have to do like a vagueness meter on the answer about Kyrie. It'll be like a 0 to 5. How vague was this answer to you? Was it specific? If they say he is coming back this year, we're excited to get this team ready for when Kyrie returns, right? Like that answer is much more clear than a super vague one.
Or maybe there's a new directive after how last year went, where it's like, guys, just every injury question is vague.
You just answer every question with this.
I'm not a doctor, so I don't know.
He sounds so defeated at the end.
Gets better every single time. I also think that was from the finals year and not from this past year, which somehow makes it funnier.
I'm saving my kid comments for tomorrow's pod.
Well,
I have to apologize that you felt that he should have played more.
Sneaky injury-riddled season, the finals year. It gets kind of swept under the rug with how injury prone this year was.
All right, I have another one.
Keep going.
D'Angelo Russell, how's he approaching this situation? I want to see how he answers it, and I want to see how like Jason Kidd / Nico answers it. Of, hey, this is a great opportunity for him. He knows that this is a chance for him to show the league how good he is, the type of player he is, type of thing. Is it more about him and where he's at in his career, or is this more about a chance to win a championship? And hey, I want to get everybody involved and do my what route is that talked about? Is he talked about as a guaranteed starter? From opening tip. I mean, I think so probably. But yeah, I want to see his approach, how he talks about his approach, and how Kidd and them are talking about his upcoming season.
The way he talked about that on that podcast clip. Did you see the clip the other day where he's like, Klay didn't even realize, like, I knew where he was going. Like when they briefly played together with the Warriors, he was just like, Klay and me, the connection. I can do so much for him, like he can do so much for me. Like the way he was talking, I love sometimes the way D'Angelo Russell talks.
I like his podcast, by the way. I actually listened to it.
Yeah, because you were on it one time.
Shut up.
Were you really?
Yeah, you used the clip. Yeah, you used the clip of him talking about.
He just used so whoever produced it used a couple of clips from some stuff I said on the pod, but I was not. But no, because I think he's like super honest.
This summer.
Yeah, this summer. Yeah.
Okay, I remember that.
But no, yeah, I like that podcast he does.
I just think he's going to approach it like, I can make everybody better. I think we're going to get we're doing bingo tomorrow where we're coming up with each thing that we're going to absolutely hear at Media Day. And one of mine is that someone will say championship roster, and I think it's coming from D'Angelo Russell.
Oh, that's a good one.
Really? I would say Klay.
I mean, multiple people will probably say it. Klay has kind of already hinted at it, but I think D'Angelo Russell just looks at it as confidence. I think he's excited to play with AD again. I think he's excited to play with like real basketball players again.
I'm predicting a Klay Thompson wild D'Lo quote. Like
D'Lo about Klay Thompson?
No, Klay about D'Lo. Like hey, besides me and Steph, he's the greatest shooter ever.
I was thinking you were gonna say yeah, he might be the best guard I've ever played with.
He's gonna be like, Meg and I were watching some D'Lo film the other night, and she noticed that the way that he.
No, I just think he's gonna say something of like, yeah, D'Angelo Russell's a winner. Like we've seen him, and he is going like some just wild off the wall quote, and he's gonna be like,
Steph, he's the most talented player I've ever played with.
He's the best leader I've ever seen. Besides Draymond, best defender.
He'd big up Draymond. I don't think you would.
He's like, by the way, do y'all have a Kuminga update?
Someone should ask Klay Thompson about the Kuminga thing. That'd be hilarious.
We just ask everybody. That should be our bit. We ask about Kuminga and Pablo Torre.
Now, listen, Jonathan Kuminga hasn't signed yet.
Clay, what do you think about Pablo and Mark?
What do you think Mark Cuban was hiding when he defended the Clippers?
Did you like him?
Are we gonna get a Pablo Torre story about you anytime soon, Clay?
Pablo Torre finds out.
Nico Harrison, no.
Meg Thee Stallion relationship was just for press.
Stop.
That'd be wild.
All right, I got more questions.
If Pablo found that out, that'd be insane. Coming up, other things we need answered at Media Day. I need an answer about the starting five, and we'll talk about more things like that coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by the brand of underwear that I'm wearing currently at this very moment.
Show us.
Just holding it down there. Just the Skims underwear. When I found out Skims was making underwear for men, I was intrigued. I was to be fair.
Thanks for all the super chats coming in.
To be afraid of the Skims coffee, I was. I've heard so much about their quality from friends and family, so I had to give it a try. Let me tell you, he lives up to the hype. They sent me a free pair, and I bought more myself. Is that enough of a pitch? Skims that you sent me a free one and I went and bought more myself. I have multiple times. Shop Skims Men at skims.com. They're underwear for men. You can try all kinds of different things as well. They don't lose their shape. They stay in place all day. The underwear and the things in them stay their place all day. Shop Skims Men at skims.com. Let them know that we send you after you place your order. Select podcast in the survey and select our show, Locked On Mavs or Locked On NBA or whichever one in the drop-down menu that follows. Skims Men at skims.com.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
People forget about Frank.
All right, Isaac. All right, Slightly. We're talking about things we need answered at Media Day. We talked about Anthony Davis. We've talked about D'Angelo Russell and what we think they're going to talk about with that. Slightly, what's something you need answered at Media Day?
So this is a nice one because this will segue into the rest of y'all's questions. It's the only question I have, and it's the only question I have. Will anything said on Monday mean a singular thing?
Yes.
I'm going to guess the answer is no.
Well, the last time I was in there, I asked Nico a question that.
Why shouldn't you be fired?
Will there? Is that the reason why we're fired? Is that the reason why we're getting limited on media? Yeah, I think some stuff. I think if something goes viral on media day, it's typically not good unless you're like really reaching for stuff like Anthony Edwards working on post moves.
Muscle Watch always goes viral.
Muscle Watch for sure.
Muscle Watch. Zion and Luka are fighting it out for men's health bag right now.
Yeah.
Men's Health is kicking themselves for not getting Zion Williams.
Yeah, they're slamming the tables. How did we not get
How do we miss him?
Who didn't go to New Orleans?
They said, well, it's been 6 straight years. We just figured we'd stop calling.
We've talked to his agent every June, and
we couldn't find his trainer. His number doesn't exist. Does he even have one?
Omar Cooper called us.
Okay, so I do think things matter at Media Day. And I am one that does read into literally everything. We've done it on this show for 8 years. We've read into everything that people have said. I want to know any kind of hierarchy. Give me any kind of hierarchy of where Kid and Nico think about certain players. The Lively Gafford combo, if they glowingly talk about Lively and be like, Gafford, solid player for us. Lively, the future of this franchise. He's going to fit so great with Anthony Davis in that starting lineup. Like if we hear that kind of stuff about them, it's again like the vagueness of the way that they talk or the lack of vagueness and how they talk. Max Christie versus Caleb Martin is something I want to hear too. It's like, is there any kind of hierarchy between those two? Have they figured that out? The Brandon Williams, Dante Exum, does Dennis Smith Jr. have a real chance of making the roster kind of thing? Like I think you can hear it just in the way they answer some questions and who gets brought up. Because we've already seen some of these guys. They've already seen some of these guys play, right? The Mavs have been doing some things together already. And so do people talk about, man, Dennis is going to bring so much to this team, and they're like talking about him like he's on the team already. I think hearing some kind of hierarchy in lineups and like rotation stuff, I think does matter at Media Day some.
Yeah, take that slightly.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, one of the main reasons I said that, and I was laughing earlier because I just remembered Stephen A. Smith's Zion quote where he said Stephen A. Smith personally knew chefs in New Orleans that he was eating them out of business. But anyway,
Stephen A. Man.
No, one of the main reasons I said that is, I think you can learn some interesting stuff from Media Day from time to time, but this organization specifically is typically so vague.
Yeah.
And Kidd is just like so, even when he answers a question, it's not the truthful answer,
What do you mean? Jason Kidd doesn't tell the truth sometimes?
No, I'm saying he might tell you a starting lineup tomorrow or on Monday where he's just like, in his mind, he's like, there's no way we're ever running that out there.
Oh, how do I not have that drop on the board anymore? I got rid of for this.
People forget about Frank.
Yeah, I mean, and I'd say this too. Like, I don't think they don't really like. Yeah, I don't want to go. I don't want to go down that route. Sorry.
Do whatever you want.
No, because there's other people involved in that quote, and I'm not gonna.
Do we get any kind of starting five mention at Media Day?
I doubt it.
Solly, do you care if they come out and say D'Angelo Russell, Klay Thompson, Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, and Lively are starting? Does that matter to you?
I think I agree with what you were saying, that that's the most interesting as it pertains to Lively and Gafford. That might be that could be some interesting insight into how they view that situation. But and they'll probably get specifically asked by somebody, so it'll probably be answered.
100%.
Yeah, but will it be like a concrete, like, yep, it's going to be, Lively at the 5, or is it going to be like, we'll see how preseason
better
goes.
be.
A lot of people are fighting for spots. That'll be interesting to me.
What else needs to be answered at Media Day, Isaac?
Oh, I kind of want to hear about the Kidd extension. Lack of.
I mean, he's still got another year, right?
He's got another year, but if he's not extended right now, he's going to be gone next summer. That's one of mine. Like, it's it got hairy.
Are you gonna go to Jason Kidd and be like,
why shouldn't you be fired? Why shouldn't you get an extension?
Wait, are you saying he'll be gone as in he'll be on another team?
Yeah, next summer if he's not extended
right
now. There was a lot of noise this offseason, and a lot of it was like warranted, and there was a lot of real breadcrumbs with a lot of that stuff. And then there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that resulted in him being here still. And then the fact that he's still here after all of that and not extended like everybody else. I mean, heck, even Billy Donovan, and Billy Donovan goes 500 every year for like a decade. He got extended. So, yeah, I just think I want to see if someone asks. I'm not going to ask it. But I want to see if someone asks about like his long-term future of the franchise, how he answers that of like, hey, we're just playing out this season. We want to see how it goes and all of that. So I'm just curious on how they answer it.
That is interesting. I did hear from someone that the Knicks Kidd thing was seriously real.
Very serious, yes.
Which is very interesting. But yeah, that is. I just wonder if coaching contracts is different, and maybe they're just like, oh, I mean, we like have it. The extension's kind of there, but it hasn't just been official yet.
The coaching contracts to me feel more like a normal job contract negotiation. Like if I have a job, I'm going to stick with it. Like if I get another better one, I'm going to go over there. It's like,
yeah, true.
It's like, it's not like an NBA player one. I don't know. It seems like they're different.
Well, especially when you get into that stage of coaching like he is. He's not an up and coming coach. Like a Jordan Knott's like looking around. Is like, he wants an opportunity. There's only 30 of them. You get a coach like Kidd, he is, however you feel about him, he is sought after by other teams because of his relationships and all the stuff. So there would definitely be suitors for him if that's, yeah.
Oh, I think unless there's some crazy coach firing, he'd be number one. Like he'd be the most sought after head coaching candidate.
Yeah, for a lot of people. Yeah. What else I want to hear about? I want to hear, you mentioned about Christie and Martin. I just want to hear the talk around Christie. Max Christie was, brought in that Luka trade, and he was mentioned every single time. That trade is brought up of like, hey, we got this young piece. He's 22. Or he might
People forget about Frank.
It was like that.
People forget about Max. He started off. He started off and had some cool moments, and then it got kind of weird towards the end. What does his offseason look like? What's his summer look like? What does he think his improvement should be? How are they viewing him? They really need him. Point of attack defense is one of the things I think that they got to look at. And, man, if he can turn into this, like, 3-and-D guy, that would be massive for this team. And he's a young, he's 22, too. So, like, that's if he could turn into that and be another young piece alongside Cooper, Lively, and a couple of those guys, it would be massive. And is he lumped in with the other wings, or is he talked about as like a young piece moving forward? That's what I want to know.
Is he lumped in with Brandon Williams, or is he lumped in with Lively? You know what I mean? Like, which end of the spectrum is he in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an interesting. That's. I'm also like, they won't answer this, but was he like, oh, he was just he had to be in the trade for contract reasons, or is it more like no, we wanted him?
Well, I think that's the telling part, that if they talk about their roster, let's say Kid or Nico and them talk about the roster, and they're like, hey, we love our core, with Cooper and PJ and AD and Live, and then we love our supporting cast. We love this, we love that wing group, Najee and Caleb and Max and and Klay, and it's just like he's just like constantly lumped into some of these things. Is he ever mentioned of, hey, like one of the things I had on there is the 2 timeline approach talked about at Media Day? Is it he briefly took a question about it at post Cooper trade, I think, or post lottery, winning the lottery? But do they talk about the 2 timeline approach of and the difficulty of it, or the blessing of it, or how much they like it? And is he lumped into that? Hey, and we got the young pieces too. We got the young core too with Cooper and D Live and Max, and is he like talked about like that, or is he just like lumped in with some of the other like random role players?
Which would answer my question.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's the thing. Like, yeah, if they talk about it like a lumped in other question, it's like, oh, okay, well, he was kind of a throw-in.
Tomorrow, we're going to tell you things that will absolutely happen at Media Day. We're going to play bingo. We'll do a bingo draft where we'll come up with a board that you'll be able to play. Go check out Slightly Biased, great YouTube channel, all kinds of great stuff on there. Guys, thanks so much for listening to Locked on Mavs.
Peace out.
Boom.
Ain't going to be able to do